Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network, Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK. Sumasayang papawid, 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Okay, happy Tuesday ho mga kaibigan. Welcome mo sa ating program. Magandang gabi ho. Gabi na dahil 6 p.m. na ho rito or magandang hapon ho. Napakaliwanag pa ho sa labas. Pero syempre 6 p.m. Ito po ang Happy Tuesday na program natin na kung tawagin ho ay Legal Advice Corner. Ayan, so good evening ho sa ating mga kababayan sa apat na sulok ho ng United Kingdom. Magandang hapon ho sa inyong lahat. Yan po ay apat na bansa na nagsasama-sama upang tawaging United Kingdom. Yan po ang Wales, England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Ayan ho, United Kingdom. Welcome sa ating program. Ako po si SONNY Laragan, ang lagi ho ninyong nakakasama every Tuesday evening dito po sa Legal Advice Corner. Pero hindi po ako ang star of the show. Ang star of the show yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada, no? Siya po ang managing partner po ng Deo Volente Solicitors at recently ho ay umakyat ho ng bundok ng Alps, no? Halo-halo yata parang French Alps, Swiss Alps, meron bang German Alps? Anyway, we will find out from her, no? Siyempre, i-welcome back natin siguro after a very tiring climb. Dahil hindi ho basta biro yan, maglalakad ka, aakyat ka, magbubuhat ka siguro. Meron siyang dalang, alamin natin kung ano na yung kwento, no? Pagkatapos ng kanyang journey. Recently, nandiyan siya sa may Alps, no? This was about, I think, a week after last week, no? So, alamin natin, mga kaibigan, ang pinakamamahalo nating Brains and Beauty, managing partner po ng Deo Volente Solicitors, at napakahusay yung abogada. Walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA QUINTO. Attorney, magandang hapon. Happy Tuesday.
Gandang hapon, gandang gabi, Mr. Laragan, Direk Pao Snooki, kung andyan ka man. Welcome back to terra firma na, Mr. Laragan, after, yes, tiring, but a very beautiful sight to see. So, galing nga po tayo sa Alps, which is a mountain range.
Ooh.
Yes, that is Italy ako dyan actually, but they speak French. Interestingly, kasi magkakatabi.
Wow.
Yes, they do. That's France. I think that's Switzerland. I think that is, or wow. France. No, that is France now. That is France. That's near the valley. That is Italy. So wow. That is France. So tatlong country. So I started, well, unahan natin dun sa unang, yung tema ng wow. holiday ko na yan, talagang pinaikot ako sa Europa dahil nung flight pa lang, nagkaroon na ng konting plot twist. So I got a message. I was supposed to go to the airport at 4 o'clock. I woke up, siguro saan, nalimpungatan, nabulol tuloy.
Nalimpungatan, yes.
Ako kasi may parang message sa phone ko. At 2 a.m. in the morning. And then I saw that my flight was canceled.
Wow!
4 hours before I'm due to the 4 hours, I think, for roughly about 4 or 5 hours before the flight,
Mm.
they canceled my
Wow,
flight.
stressful.
They
Oh,
offered straight away, so parang ako yung problem solving mode. They offered, buti na lang direct ako nag-book, so I have the app. They offered me a two options. One option is to take the next day, the flight the next day, the same flight,
okay.
or
Mm.
to take a long scenic route. Rerouted ako via Amsterdam, a later flight in the day,
Wow.
but makakarating ako sa destination ko on the same day.
On the
So
day.
lots of
On
factors
same
I
day.
wanted to see because kasi magjo-join ako ng a group hike the next day. So kailangan for me
Oo, tama.
I needed to be there the day before kasi malilate ako and nakabook na ako
Exacto,
ng
yes. Mm.
hotel, nakabook na lahat and mawawala yun if I don't turn up on that day.
Yes,
So
yes, yes. Mm.
sabi ko na lang, adventure na lang tayo ng buong Europa. So
Grabe.
I took a later tour. It took me 12 hours imbis na, well, nearly 12 hours imbis na mga an hour and a half na direct flight to Geneva plus an hour. Dapat mga 2 hours lang andun na ako sa destination. Naging 12 hours. So,
Bakit may
anyway,
may waiting time? You
may
were
waiting
in
time.
Amsterdam sa Schiphol
Yeah,
for a long time?
for 3 hours. So I had the flight
Okay.
out of Amsterdam. So I have to get out. Yeah, 3 hours. Not too bad. So syempre may flight from Amsterdam, from Luton to Amsterdam. Amsterdam. So
Mm-mm.
based there. Maganda yung ano nila ha. Maganda yung
Kaya,
kanilang
airport?
airport. They have
Yeah, yeah.
see you. As
Ba?
lumabas ako, inisip ko, I did think about, sabi ko, punta kaya ako sa city center nila. But it wasn't quite enough yung time ko. Lumabas na ako.
Have you Oo, wow.
Nakalabas ako
Have
ng
you ever been
passport ko
to
doon.
Have you ever been to Amsterdam before, attorney? Napunta ka naman ng
No,
Amsterdam before?
no,
Wow,
I've never
sayang.
been.
You should have enjoyed. Maganda.
Passport ko
Oh, it's
doon kasi kailangan ko lumabas ng
Oo.
airport. So nagtaka sila sa kapupunta.
Bitin,
Sabi
may
ko,
ng oras. Oo.
so
Mm.
hindi ako pumunta ng city center. To sumilip lang ako sa labas. And I had to get out because nasa kabilang part ako ng airport. But it was
Mm.
good. Masarap ang pagkain. Mabait naman sila. Got into a flight to Geneva. So late na ako nakarating. I had a transfer book. So may usa kasi ito yung mga mountain transfer. So dediretso kami sa
Mm.
Chamonix, which is the
Mm.
mountainous region between Switzerland and Geneva. So hindi ko nakita yung bundok pagdating ko kasi mag-alas 12 na. When I woke up, amazing, very beautiful. A
Alas.
marathon de Mont Blanc
Mm.
pala. Mont Blanc is the highest peak in Europe, I think. It's about
Oh, wow.
4,800 meters. I didn't climb that. I want to climb that
Above
one
sea
day.
level, no? Above sea
Above sea
level.
level.
Yun
But
ang ano nila,
ayun
di ba?
yung focal
Mm.
point ng Alps is umiikot kami dun sa Mont Blanc na yun. Kasi yun ang focal point, yun yung papakita ko mamaya if you show the photos kung saan yung Mont Blanc dun. But the interesting thing about this hike is dumaan kami ng 3 countries and nadaanan namin yung mga border nila. I mean, mountain border. So wala pong immigration doon, walang police. It's just mountain borders. So the first one was Italy. So one starting point namin, the van took us to the starting point in Italy. We climbed up all the way to 2,000. I think from a height na kami, but nakarating kami ng mga 2,000 meters. Refugio Bonatti, named after Walter Bonatti, who is a very, very popular and historical figure, mountaineer figure sa Europe and then the whole mountaineering community. So very special yung unang alpine hut namin. So that's Italy. The next day,
Mm.
baba naman kami. Sabi ko kay Direk, hindi kami umakyat na umakyat na umakyat. Umakyat kami,
Okay.
bumaba,
Yes. Wow.
umakyat uli. So the next day, we passed by in the photo. Ganda nung kita mo talaga parang
Sige,
maabot mo na
direct
yung
maglabas ka nga sa mga photos ni attorney. Yung reason ba kaya bumababa kayo dahil kailangan matulog kayo for the night or for the day?
No, no, no.
Tapos
Yeah, a
aakyat
little
na
bit,
naman ulit
yes.
kayo.
Yes. Because yung
Parang
alpine
ganun
hut, yung mga huts are mga 1,500, 1,800 meters. That's where we
This is
spoke long.
not the Italian side. This is not the Italian side, no? Italian side to?
That's the French side. French na po yan. That is French
Kasi
side.
may
Yung
mention ka
band-
na doon kayo nagsimula sa Italian side, and there was parang boulder ba, was named after a
Bonatti,
very
yeah.
popular
Wala-
Italian mountaineer, di ba? Oo.
Walter
Merong-
Bonatti. So,
Oo. Malalaman ba ni Direk kung which one is Italy, which one is
no.
Hindi.
I think yung solo ko,
mag-
yung solo picture ko, that is Italy. That's Italy.
yung
Hindi
solo
yun
na
yung-
nagpipicture siya, solo.
yeah,
yan.
that is
Ito.
Italy. That's Italy.
Italy to.
Hindi yan yung hut ni Walter Bonatti, but that's after going up and then down. That's Refugio Elena. So nasa again another mountain hut kami. Nagaan na lang kami, we passed by. Pero mataas na yan. I think roughly 2,000 meters na yan ata.
Attorney, itong photo na yan, meron kang hawak na ganyan, no? Yan ba'y dala mo from London or you bought it when you were there?
Dala ko na po yan lahat. So everything I have, it's about,
okay.
I had 7.5 kilos on my back without lunch. So I was ranging from 7 to 8 kilos. At ano na yun not
Mabigat
so,
na, mabigat
I
na
could
yan.
probably go to
Di ba
6
mabigat?
kilos. Pero bumibigat, mahirap. I think each day you feel it's getting heavier and heavier. And naramdaman ko yung na mas madali akong hapuin as we went higher up in the mountains. Pero I think any mountaineer or any mountain hiker would say that the best strategy is really to go slow. At talagang dun ko na learn yon. Slowly, breathe, and enjoy.
Okay.
Enjoy mo yung view because you need to take care of your heartbeat. Kasi pag hindi mo man na-control yung heartbeat mo na talagang halos nag-ano ka na, yun ang delikado. But yeah, it was good. So French, Italian and Switzerland border, we reached that. It's called Col Ferret. Col Ferret. So that's about 2,500 meters. Napakahirap nung pag ganon. Bigat na ng bag mo. Tapos napakatarik pa. And then we got there, malamig, misty. We went down, may mga snow passes pa. So snow was heavy that year, unnatural na may snow. So we were passing by some snow and river crossing. So there were times when we had to pass some rivers as well. So that's more on the Switzerland side. So pagkatapos namin ng Italian-Switzerland border, we were in Switzerland for a day. Maganda yung Switzerland. Maganda yung masarap yung pagkain. May rosti sila na tinatawag, which is a patatas, grated potato with bacon and cheese. So that was our lunch after a long walk that day. It was so hot. Mas mainit sa bundok dahil wala kang
So hot sa bundok? Really?
Mainit.
So hot?
We were 27 degrees. No, day 1 was fine. Day 1 nabasa kami. Day 2, it was so sunny and so hot. Talagang, if you wanna see na ano talaga ako, the sunburn.
Yes. Sunburn.
Very, very sunburn. That was my watch. So talagang makikita mo. That's what SPF 50 na po yun. So we went there sa isa na namang parang mountain pass, I think 3rd day. And then finally, in the final day, we reached the other border, which is Switzerland and France. So three countries within 4 days, total of about 65 kilometers. I think in total na up and down namin, 3,600 meters na climb up and down. Kasi nga hindi lang kami umakyat kami, bumaba kami, umakyat ulit kami, tapos bumaba ulit kami.
Oh,
Mabait,
uh,
mabait, masaya, masaya.
two questions. May two questions ako. One is, how long is the walk more or less per day? Ilang oras kayong umaakyat, no? O naglalakad? Nag-hike or
Uh,
nag-climb or how do you call it? Ilang oras yan per day? Are you talking of
so
8 hours, 6 hours, or 4 hours of walking every day? Or trekking? Gaano katagal yan?
yeah. So the first day, it's about first day was about 3 hours, so short lang yung first day, 3 or 4 hours yung first day.
Mm.
Second day was about six
Okay.
to 7 hours of walking.
Nag-freeze na naman ako direct.
Second day was 7 hours. Second day was
Freeze ako, no? So,
7 hours of walking plus one
okay.
hour.
Hindi ako
na
nag-freeze ako sa yung aking video. Andiyan pa ba si attorney? Okay, ako lang ang medyo parang... Oh, okay, sige, we'll just wait for it to come back. 3 to 4 hours yata sinasabi ni attorney the first day. Ayun, bumalik na ako. Attorney, parang nawawala kasi ako lagi. Nag-freeze ako, so hindi ko malaman kung ano nangyayari sa area, no? So 3 to 4 hours first day. Second day, ilang oras din?
So the first day, I think 4 hours more or less with a break. Second day was 7 hours of pure walking plus the break,
Ooh.
which is about 8 hours. I mean, 1 hour siguro kami na, we stop for
Okay.
5 minutes, stop for lunch for
Mm-mm.
about 20 minutes. The third day was about 6 or 7 hours then, I think roughly the same.
Okay.
And then the
Mm-mm.
plus yung break, so roughly 8 hours then. And then
Right.
the last day was about siguro 5 hours plus the break, which is 6 hours. So medyo solid. You'll be walking solid.
Mm-mm. Wow.
Up and down throughout the 4 days.
Ako, nakalimutan ko yung second question ko is, ano sana, so how many hours? Second question ko, nakalimutan ko. Dapat pala, tinanong ko na kagad direkta, no? Yung, ayun, borders. Kasi if you've been to Monaco, ang border kasi ang Monaco is parang Vatican, ang Vatican nasa loob ng Rome, ang Monaco nasa loob although nasa dulo sa coast, no, ng France, nasa loob ng France. Ang boundary lang makikita mo is just a line lang sa kalsadang ganyan lang. Na pag tumapa ka lang sa kabila, yung tumakbang ka lang, nandoon ka na sa France, sa Beausoleil. Pag bumalik kang gano'n, nandoon ka sa Monaco. Ang forest, sabi mo mga mga mountain borders yan. How do they know? Sinasabi ba nung ito ng border ng France or Italy and Switzerland or France, Switzerland. Paano mo nalalaman yung sa mountain? Paano niyo nalalaman?
May bato.
Bato
May
meron.
bato lang.
Okay.
Parang mohon sa
Really?
atin. Ano ba yun? Mohon. May boundary na bato. So I saw
Okay.
one of the most special thing na nagulat ako. So we stopped kasi we were hiking. Medyo pagod na kami last day na namin. Yung boundary ng Switzerland and Italy, may malaking bato na parang because it was a landmark point dun sa whole trail na yon. So may konting information. So we were briefed na ito boundary ng Switzerland and Italy, and we had a video of us crossing it, parang ceremonial kunwari. Ang nagulat ako nung hindi kami na-brief nung last day. Although maybe siguro nasabi sa akin, pero pagod lang ako. So we were walking for hours and we were a bit tired. I was a bit tired. 4 days na. And yung last bit is pataas. So medyo nahahapo ako. Although masaya ako. So we stopped at the viewing point. May random bato. Akala ko lang bato. Bato lang siya. Doon kami doon ko nilagay yung bag ko. Tapos nung explain na sa amin where we were, apparently that was the boundary of Switzerland and France. So may nakalagay doon sa kabila. It's marked with S. And then the other one is marked with F. Tapos may linya din sa bato na gano'n. May linya sa gitna na red line. So yun yung particular boundary ng Switzerland and France. And then I saw somewhere mga 100 meters, may parehong bato. So may parang mohon na nakalagay indicate kung saan yung boundary. I found it very interesting because technically you're in
Wow.
two countries at once. You're in
Oo
two
nga.
countries
Oh, yes,
at
yes.
the same
Oo.
time.
Eksakto.
Kabilang body
Mm.
mo nasa Switzerland and kabilang body mo nasa France. Pero walang ano, yun dun po, we're talking about mountains, walang, walang immigration or border patrol. However, in what I found so kami, between France, dun sa baba na, sa valley, and yung mga major motorways, when we were traveling back to Geneva, doon may parang, hindi naman parang checkpoint. It looked like a checkpoint, but it was the uh, the border of France and Switzerland na hindi sa bundok. Nandun sila sa baba dun sa may daanan. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Geneva. Kasi may extra day ako kasi na-cancel yung
Okay.
So I had an extra day. I saw the fountain.
Hindi pa ako napunta riyan sa Geneva. Hindi pa ako napunta.
Yeah,
Maganda ba? Maganda ang Geneva?
If you ever go, meron silang parang hindi naman ganun ka luxurious na ano, but it's where every local go. Yung Uber driver ko, sabi ko, saan ba maganda pumunta? Sabi niya, punta ka sa Ben de Paqui. Kasi dun daw, it's not expensive. It's really what locals do. On a hot, sunny summer day in Geneva, pupunta sila doon. Parang history doon ng LARAGAN is it was an old bath style nung long time ago, and it's facing Lake Geneva, the famous Lake Geneva. So pwede ka doon mag-sunbathe, like food. They have it's for everyone, and that's what locals do there. So I got to do that kasi yung teammate ko, nalaman nila na stuck ako na extra bonus day ako sa Geneva. So they said, because they traveled in Europe, sabi ng mga Europeans, so punta ka doon sa Ben de Paqui because that's what the locals would do on a sunny day. So I got there. I got to meet someone, yung kapitbahay ko doon sa may ako doon, nagpapainit ako doon. Ang mom niya is English, so that was fun. Masaya, Mr. Lara. Feeling ko
Would you know the spelling? Would you know the spelling? Oh yeah, bundok would you know the spelling? Ano yung spelling ng 20 para ma-ano ni Direk, baka ma-pick up niya? And to give us an idea.
This is French word. This is how kung sa atin, kung ako, Bains de Paqui. So yung parang phonetical style. So BAINS DES.
BIANS.
But the French
BAINS ano pa? Benz BAINS DE?
DES. May lag ata tayo, Mr. Laragan, ng konti.
No. Inuulit ko lang kay Direk para marinig niya habang tina-type niya. Oo.
BAINS
Google niya.
DES PAQUIS.
Ayan. Nakuha mo na, Direk? Ano ba yan? Para Ben de
Paqui.
Ano pronunciation ulit, Direk? Paqui. Okay.
Ben de Paqui.
Ben de Paqui. Okay, Ben de Paqui. Ayan. Hopefully mailabas ni Direk. Okay, so Geneva, so you stayed ang pinaka-touchdown mo o you arrived, yung parang flight mo is to Geneva ba? Yung first yung 'di ba nare-route ka? So Geneva. So din ang uwi mo via Geneva rin. Oh, and then you took is it a parang service ba going all the way to the first leg sa Italy? Ay ito yan. Ito malapit ako, titingnan ko sana sa screen. Oo, para ito yan. May mga naguhubad para sa pag-summer, no? Talagang ayan, no? Oo. Galing. So from your place where you took the Uber, malayo pa o malapit lang?
Malayo. You need a public transport. Yeah, I took a bus. Galing madaling i-figure out yung public transport system nila. So I took a day kasi malapit na sa airport hotel ako . So madali lang i-figure out. I found that na hindi ako
Good, good,
nahirapan
good.
i-figure out yung public transport nila. So from Geneva, ang original nun is you go to France first, and then from France, yung guide namin took, again, may service na would bring us to the Italian side. So umikot talaga kami ng buong, yung Alps, magkakatabi po yan.
Wow.
Switzerland, France, Italy. And this side of the Alps, kahit Italian siya or Switzerland siya, they speak French. So yung side ng
All right.
Italy, they speak Italian, I think, as well, but predominantly French speaking daw yung side.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Very
Okay, okay. Wala kang German side. Zurich is German side. That's they call it Swiss German. And then
Swiss German.
yung German sa Germany, they call it High German. Yata ganun sila yung Santiago de Compostela, you said the walk that you did was an abbreviated one. Etong
Yes.
meron abbreviated din, meron bang longer version ito o yan na yan? Yan ang yung lakad na yan, yung ganyang lakad na.
May longer version to. May
may
11 to
version
14
din.
days. May 11 to 14 days.
Wow.
The full version of this is about 2 weeks. So mahaba-haba. Yung
Wow, direct. Kaya mo ba yan, direct? Kaya ba natin yun?
Yan.
No? Wow. The 2 weeks? Oh. But what would you kung takeaway mo, for example, if you were to do it again or we would do it, for example, or somebody, yung mga viewers natin, mga friends natin will do it, ano ang takeaway mo? Ano mga, should you do the same thing? Or are you going to be traveling more lightly? Anong takeaway mo dyan? Should they go practicing, I don't know, yung kanilang eating thing? But do you stop to eat? 7 hours, yung breaks na sinasabi mo kunyari, 7 hours, 8 hours including a break. Yung break na yun, 1 hour, is it done in between the walks? Sa gitna ba?
We would break, may mga sections kami, we would have, siguro sasabihin namin, yung first leg natin, after 2 hours, we stop for 5-10 minutes, and then after that, we stop for another 5-minute break, and then a longer break for lunch, maybe 20 minutes for lunch. So, staggered naman yung mga breaks. Kasi kailangan mo talaga, kailangan mo inumin ng tubig, you need to catch your breath, you need to put layers on sometimes, kasi if you're approaching a higher ground, lalo na nung first day, mainit sa baba, but drastically lumamig sa taas, and then nung baba na naman kami, napakainit na naman. So we had to have some breaks to take layers, to adjust yung damit namin. But to answer your question, Mr. Laragan, yes, madaming takeaway. Sana, unang-una, sana nag-train ako harder. I really felt the lack of training. I didn't train as hard siguro nasanay ako sa UK. I was telling Direk Pao, ang highest mountain natin dito, Ben Nevis. Ben Nevis is 1,400 meters. Ang sa Alps, starting point pa lang po yan ng 1,400 meters. So you would go up to 2,500. They have Mont Blanc, which is 4,800. Wow. You're dealing with very, quite serious mountains, quite serious height gain, elevation gain. Siguro yun ang it's very nice kasi kita mo naman talaga, very nice visually kasi wow, yun din yung napakagandang takeaway. Talagang day one pa lang wow ka na kasi andun talaga yung bundok nasa, and what we said is as if you can touch it, yung napakalaking bundok, parang maano mo.
Can you say parang Filipino slang, no? Yung akyat sa Ben Nevis, sisiw lang compared to inakyat mo?
I wouldn't say sisiw lang din yung Ben Nevis. Kasi yung Ben Nevis naman, malamig, ang weather sa Ben Nevis medyo temperamental. That's what I found when I climbed Ben Nevis. But I think if you climb Ben Nevis for one day at uuwi ka, uwi ka sa nice hotel at kakain ka
Okay.
ng masarap, you get to rest.
Mm,
It's quite
mm.
different from any multi-day hike na 4 na araw ka pataas, pababa, pataas, pababa, pataas, pababa, pataas, pababa. And you're probably not sleeping as well. So yung fatigue level
Tama.
mo is starting to go higher and higher and higher each day. So
Oo.
that's one thing to think about. It's not just about, ay, kaya kong Ben Nevis or Caesar yung Ben Nevis. It's not the Caesar yung Ben Nevis. I think if you go on one day na hike compared sa 4 na araw na namumundo ka, it's a very different progression. It's a progression. But ang lahat naman you can train for anything. Dahil yung mga kasama ko doon, hindi yung iba doon very inspiring kasi hindi kumbaga mas matatanda pa sa akin yun pero mas malalakas. Yung iba talaga malakas talaga sa bundok. So yeah, go on.
Hindi, tanong ko lang, pagkain, for example, yung kinakain mo ba, do you eat a lot, di ba sa mga hotels na, o yung mga tinitira ninyo, tinutulugan ninyo, may libre ng breakfast in the morning? Kasama na yun?
It's part of the deal. It's part of
Okay. So
the group na
the deal. Do you eat a lot? Marami kang kinakain? Marami ka bang kinakain? At saka kumukuha ka ng ano ka ng itlog dito, ipasok ko lang yun sa bag ko para mamaya dali ko, magawa ako ng sandwich. How do you know? Kasi wala nang
I'll tell you why. May pack lunch kami. So we would have the option kung wala kaming
sila na.
Kung wala kaming mapupunta, we had to pay for it. So yung lunch namin, depende kung may mapupuntahan kaming madadaanan kaming sit-down lunch.
Meron na sa bundok?
Sit-down lunch Once lang kami nagka-sit-down lunch. Most of the days, puro kami pack lunch. I'll tell you, ayaw mong magbaon ng marami kasi bibigat lahat. Every single 100 grams.
Okay.
Yung apple na napakalaki, halos gusto ko nang kainin. Kalahati pa lang para matanggal mo dun sa bag. So you would feel that. Yung juice ko, I decided to really drink it before yung uphill para... So, ganun na strategy. I wouldn't fill my water bottle. I would only fill it to 1 liter para kung alam ko na may tubig doon, I wouldn't fill it to the brim dahil ayokong mapalo sobra. Just enough. So you're thinking a lot about weight, you're thinking about fatigue, you're thinking about... So babalance mo 'yan. Kung kailangan mo ng tsokolate, kailangan mo. Pero hindi naman yung 3 kilong picnic yung dala mo. So, I think food was more of a fuel. Italians, nagulat ako. Ang tamis, parang Pilipino, ang tatamis ng breakfast nila. It's all about sweets. It's all about
okay.
Pastry, may biscuits sila. It was quite a surprise. Obviously, Switzerland and France, continental breakfast. They have cold meat, pastry, yogurt. Okay lang, good food. Enough to get you going. You have your pack lunch or one time na nag-sit down lunch kami. That was nice kasi mas yung backpack ko. And then you have kung ano man yung gusto mong but I'll tell you kung ano yung pinaka naging useful. Siguro yun yung time na sobrang ang init at pagod na pagod kami lahat. Binigyan kami ng energy gel. Hindi ako nagdala ng energy gel. I should have. Binigyan kami ng energy gel. Teammate namin. So, pinaghatian namin. Ganun na kami, nagrarasyon na kami ng mga dala namin. Pinaghatian namin yung energy gel and that was good. So, pure sugar. Talaga kung ano yung sugar na gel na dadalhin mo, we were hydration tablets. We were yung light but gets you the energy. That's the ideal food to bring rather than isang pack ng pizza o 2 kilograms ng rice. So weight was really tumulong ako. Meron dong isa na team member namin na the weight of their backpack was becoming an issue. So pinaghatian namin a little trousers para naman magaanan siya kasi tinanggal yung ibang over sa backpack niya. So hinati naming tatlo. And that was ganun na kami, ganun na yung
Samahan.
yung mga issue, yung mga problemang sinusolba namin dun sa bundok. It's really
Ilan kayo, attorney? Ilan kayo magkakasama?
We're a team of 14,
14.
with one guy. So, shout out kay Wendy.
May style ba yan? Naghihintayan kayo? May style ba na naghihintayan kayo? Dahil iba mabagal masyado or may ganun talaga? Okay.
We would go on our own pace. So, normally may tatlong pace. Meron dong sobrang bilis. Nandun ako sa middle pace. And then, merong
Ito,
hindi
Tour
talaga
du Mont Blanc. Oh, ang galing Wow.
So, what we would do is we let people go at their own pace maybe for an hour, and then may meet up point kami para hindi naman kami mawala as a group. And then we'll go on our own pace and then meet up again for after 20, 30, 45 minutes. We'll have lunch together. But yeah, it was very much, it very much became a teamwork kasi sasabay kami, may pacer kami, so parang marathon, may nagpe-pace din sa amin. You know, we share food, we share drinks, we share mga energy gels namin, we share the weight even, naghatian kami ng mga extra na dala nila, tumulong kami dun sa team member namin. You have to look after each other it's quite remote. Yung mga mountain huts doon, Mr. Laragan, alam mo ba kung paano dinadala yung grocery, yung mga supplies nila by helicopter?
Ano?
So, by
Wow,
helicopter.
grabe, no?
Yung drop-off.
Mahal ba?
Oo, mahal.
Mahal dahil helicopter Oo nga, helicopter. Pero ang naging biyahe nyo, attorney, is you're moving forward. Hindi yung lalakad kayo ng 4 hours and then retrace back the 4 hours going back to a certain place. Hindi naman ganun, no? So yung 7-8 hours na yan, tuloy-tuloy na to the next leg and then another 7, ganun, bale, ikot. Okay.
Kaya dala mo
very
lahat.
Interesting yan.
Dala mo lahat ng gamit.
Yun, so from day one, dala mo na lahat yan, attorney? Day one, dala mo na lahat yan? Hindi parang wala, no, hindi mo pwedeng sa day one, at naka-hotel ka ron, lakad kayo, tapos babalik kayo, tapos parang doon mag-replenish, hindi, no? Tuloy-tuloy na yan, all throughout.
We're moving places. So kaya nga, importante yung weight, that's the thing. Kaya nga, nagdi-distribute na kami ng weight nung day 2, tumutulong na kami dun sa medyo nabigatan, na pinaghatian na namin yung extra weight nila. Because we can't leave things behind.
Grabe, no?
Hindi namin babalik dun. So that was one thing. Yung training, think of the weight. Really, ideally, it's between 5 to 7 kilos, including water and including food. So at least you'll have
naka-short pants ka dyan, direct. Attorney, naka-short pants ka. Yung short pants na yan for the next 4 days, susuot mo, ganun?
No, yung shorts, pero we change paggabi. Wala na yung anuhan kasi nagtitipid ka na ng you change into cleaner clothes the next day. Yun ang outer clothes mo. But I didn't wear that the first day. Naka-long hiking trousers ako dahil nabasa kami ng first day. So not 4 days yan. That's probably just for 2.5 days. Kasi malamig. You have to bring waterproof. You have to bring your change of clothes, a certain number of change of clothes. Pero ibang mag-uulit ka talaga sa bundok kasi ayaw mong mabigatan ka ng 4 na araw. That's the takeaway. And enjoy the view. Yun ang wag magmadali. Dahan-dahan lang. Dahan-dahan is always better. Slowly is always better. Bilisan mo lang.
Para pakita mo yung mga pictures niya.
Ayan, nintay ba natin si Direct? So, yeah, I was just saying, dahan-dahan lang maglakad. Because it's better sa bundok na mas dahan-dahan so you can catch your breath and enjoy the view, enjoy the experience kasi paano naman talaga, konti lang kailangan mo para mabuhay, 7 kilos lang, buhay ka na. Yeah, so that's really it. Hiking poles are must. Ayan, pagkain na yan, nasa UK na po tayo niyan.
Sabi mo,
Ayan. Di
hiking
po
poles
yan
is a must.
hiking
Sabi
poles,
mo, is a
yeah. For
must, di
me,
ba? Oo, nakatulong.
oo.
Nakatulong ba talaga?
Makakatulong talaga. 20%, I think scientifically proven, 20% ang masasave niya energy efficiency with uphill ata. Talagang makakatulong yung hiking poles.
Okay. I've never ever tried it. So, would attorney ano ba is it advisable to before you tag dito go on this kind of yung climb na to, no, yung walk trek, no, mountain trek. Itong mga mountains dito sa UK, pag-practicean mo muna.
Yes,
Gawin mo na muna yung sa Wales,
yes.
saan ba? Sa Scotland at saka sa England, no? Ano ba sa England? Ano bang pinakamataas sa England?
Scafell Pike sa Lake District.
Oh, Lake District? Wow. Napunta ako na pero hindi ko dapat pala akitin namin yan, no? Sa Lake District. Nakakatakot lang kasi mag-drive sa Lake District, ang lilit ng kalye, lalo na sa pinaka-main, I forgot that place. Tsaka pag nag-drive ka, parang kang nasa roller coaster. Talagang, parang parang kang nasa sa carnival ba, yung mga roller coaster. Ganon ang takbo ng kotse doon, no? Talaga. Tapos ang ninipis pa ng kalsada na pagka nagkamali ka, pwede kang tumawa. Kasi gumagawa sila na parang, nakikita mo yung mga bato na parang ginagawa nilang mga, ano pangalan nito? Parang ginagawang wall. May maliliit lang na wall, attorney.
Drywalling.
Yung mga kinat-cut lang na mga bato-bato lang, pinapatong nila. Dahil sa sikip ng mga kalsada sa ano tawag yan?
Drywalling.
July.
Dry.
Sorry, drywalling. Yung walang semento, walang anything, basta pinagpatong-patong lang, gano'n ba? Ayan. Delikado yan kasi pagka sa sobrang lapit ng baka gumasgas yung kotse mo, yung gilid sa mga dry walls na yun, no? Dahil nga sa sikip. So sa tawag dito, sa Lake District pala ang England. And then Ben Nevis, and then sa Wales, ano yun, Snowdonia, something. Yun ba yan? Ayun, no. Okay. Yeah, maganda yan Maganda yung, alam mo, baka may mga isa na ako baka ma-influensyang pumunta rin dahil hindi ka mukha nung sa Compostela yata. Compostela, dire-diretso, di ba? Tapos nagkaroon ka ba ng blisters doon dahil, I think blisters nga ba yun?
Wala pong blister.
Wala. Okay ka lang.
Wala ding blister.
Wala ka rin dito.
Wala din.
Okay. Ito kasi paakyat di ba sa Compostela, diretso? Diretso, no? Oo, Compostela, ayan, no? So, would you do it again, attorney?
Oh, yes.
And if you would do it again, have you learned or meron ka nang alam na from the first experience that you will do a lot different now pagkapunta mo?
Mas diba? Magaan pa. Akala ko magaan na yung bag ko, mas gagaanan ko pa. And probably I would have a rest day in between. Siguro after 2 days may rest day in order to enjoy it more. Pero
pwede ba yung ganun? May ganung itinerary ba? Pwedeng, let's say you climb 2 days, you break for 1 day, and then 2 days, break for 1 day. Meron bang ganung?
Kung personal yung itinerary mo, kung hindi group yung itinerary mo, if you wanna do it on your own, na ikaw lang yung nagka-hike doon, then you can have something like that. Ikaw na yung magko-compose ng itinerary mo. Hindi naman to,
di ba nakakatakot yun? Attorney, di ba nakakatakot na nag-iisa ka na to negotiate all of those,
Of course, you have to do it at your own, be responsible. You only do it kung alam mo yung ruta, or may kasama ka, may guide ka, you can have a guide, or may mga kasama ka na nagawa na yon. It's something, for you to do kung if you want to do it alone or if you want to do it without guides then or without a group, then you have to do so competently. Pero kung ako, second time around, I'll probably figure out a way how to do another route na may rest day somewhere. But if I'm gonna do something else, if I'm gonna do something, it'll probably be something else. Kasi ang dami pang pwedeng, madami pang pwedeng gawin. Kumbaga, natingnan mo na yung highlights ng area na yun. So maybe, it's
try another one, a different one.
Try favorite one. Yeah, to try.
Pero pakita natin direct yung mga ano, yun ang gusto ko lang sabihin. Akala ko magbe-break lang saglit si direct, pero sige, ipakita natin lahat ng mga, the most that we can show na doon sa mga photos na yan, because sa mga pwede mong i-ano, no, i-annotate or i-ano mo. Ito na, napakita na to. Ito yung sabi mo, Italian side to, di ba?
Correct, Italian side. That's Refugio Elena. Oo, that's
Oh, wow, okay. Sige, sunod mo nga direct. Ito na yung, okay, nakikita natin. Saan yan? Saan yung naputol ka, napuputol. Na-clip yung boses mo.
That's cold.
Macram?
Cold. It was somewhere between the border of Switzerland and France. Yung background po niyan, yung nasa likod, yung puti na yun.
Snow,
that is Mont Blanc. Wow. That's the highest mountain in Europe.
So malayo pa kanyan. Malayo pa kayo. Malayo pa kayo sa Mont Blanc.
Malayo pa kami.
Oo, itong yung kuha na yan.
Umiikot kami sa Mont Blanc.
Wow, galing, no? Yeah, snow-capped mountains, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Sige, direct. Sige, pakita mo lang lahat na pwedeng nating... Ito, ayan. Ayan, pagkatapos yung mag-picture taking ng grupo, ayan na, naglalakad na kayo.
Bumaba na kami, pauwi na kami sa France. I think malapit kami. God, saan ba yung valley na yon? We were heading to one of French valleys. So papunta na kami doon, pababa kami.
So may mga kalsada may mga kalsada, may mga trail eh.
May trail po.
May mga trail attorney, no? Ito, saan to? Parang malamig-lamig. Ito ba yung first day na umuulan yata?
First day yata to, umuulan. Mukhang ito yung first day
sabi mo.
umuulan. Yeah, umuulan.
Ito, same picture as kanina? Yung nag-group pictures kayo?
Yes, that's Mont Blanc in the background. Yan ang isa sa pinaka...
May pouch bag kayo, napansin ko. Ano laman ng pouch bag?
Passport.
Okay. Oo nga, tuloy-tuloy na passport. So attorney, lahat ng gamit mo, yan na yan. Tuloy-tuloy hanggang papunta na doon sa last day mo. Yan ang yung mga dala mo.
Yan lang.
Wala ka na ibang dala, wala kang maleta dahil hindi naman mag-check-in sa isang hotel everyday, no? Hindi ganun, no? Okay. Sige. Ano pa mga photos natin direct? May makukuha ka pa? Okay. Yun lang ba mga photos mo, attorney? Wala na masyadong...
May iba pa. May iba pa. If you wanna look at my Facebook, andun yung mga ibang picture. I think yung iba pinost stories. I don't know if it's still there. But may mga iba pa, yung mga maliliit na...
Okay. Inaano ko lang, nire-rely ko lang kay attorney, direct yung kung ano yung makukuha niya. So, yun ang tinatanong ko kung nakuha niya na lahat, halos na. Because I wanted to put all the photos and then you tell us where this is. Ayan, kasi kamukha niya, ang ganda ng site niyan. Yan ba, abandoned yan, tinitira niyan, or ano ba yan?
Abandoned na ata yan eh.
Abandoned yan, oo.
Parang may cheese something. May kwento yan, Mr. Laragan. I'm gonna try to remember.
Okay.
I think meron dyan. Right. May lalagyan ng cheese. May parang cheese cave or
cheese.
Okay. At saka ang kagwapat kaganda ng mga baka sa Switzerland. They have bells. Ang ingay nila. Pero
yung nakikita natin may bells, no?
May bells sila. At saka ang
naalala ko si Marian. Si Marian tayo, naalala ko si Marian Galicia Paner, di ba? Puro baka siya, no? Lagyan mo ng baka, yung Marian Galicia Paner, kung nanonood kayo, yung mga baka mo, lagyan mo ng bell, no? Tanong natin siguro siya kung may bell yan. Ito, ano to? Anong mga trails to? Ito, nasa Mont Blanc na kayo? Is this Mont Blanc?
No, that's just one of the passes. Ang dami pang snow.
Okay.
Dami pang snow.
Ayan, papunta pa rin kayo sa Mont Blanc. O kanino pusa to?
May pusa doon? May alpine hut, may alpine, yung alpine mountain hotel, kung saan kami natutulog, may pusa. Parang gusto sumama, gusto maghanap ng pagkain. Ayan, basang-basa kami.
Ito. First day to, first day.
Basang-basa kami. Basang-basa talaga.
Ikaw lang ang Ikaw lang ang Asian supposedly, pero hindi tayo Asian. Ikaw ang ibang lahi talagang Hindi Caucasian, no?
No
Oh,
po.
ano to?
Yes.
Ito maganda to. La Poule,
Border.
Puyol Ferrey, ito French to. French.
No, it's the border of Switzerland and Italy.
Oh, really? La Folie
Mm,
Arpa. Okay.
border of
Galing,
Switzerland and Italy. Ang lamig dyan.
Ay,
Pakalamig.
wow, ang galing, no? Ang galing. Gusto ko maka-experience na ganyan, mga bundok-bundok. Direct, no? We'll have to do that, no? Experience sa mga bundok. Ito, ano to? Oh, may tao naglalakad. Yung puti, no? Ayun, no?
May naglalaro
Bakit dun?
dyan.
Naglalaro. O, sabi ko, ba't yan sila
Yung mga
ano?
hikers. Yung mga hikers naglalaro.
Galing, oh. Galing. Ito,
Yeah,
ito.
that's
May tubig, may
quite a
tubig.
lot. May river crossing. May mga river crossing po kami. So that's glacial.
Lahat pala to. Oo, lahat. Ito yung mga sinasabi mong baka may bell.
May bell.
Pero ang mga tenga ba nila, attorney, merong parang may marking, may plastic na yung ginagawa na sa mga baka, nilalagyan ng ano? Baka hindi nila ginagawa siguro dyan, no? Hindi nila
May
ginagawa
marking.
dyan.
Parang may nakita ko. May marking, Mr. Laragan.
Oo.
May marking.
Yung parang
Nakita
kasi
akong marking.
napanood ko yung Clarkson's Farm. I don't know if you have Prime Video. May Clarkson's Farm, yung maganda yung feature na yung series ni Jeremy Clarkson. Maganda. Oh, ito. Another photo ng Nasaan na kayo? Oh, same.
Hindi, magkaiba po yun. The first one, yung unang nakita, yung pinakita ni Direct, Italy yun. And,
Yung kanina, yung una-una before this, yung isa pang nauna pang, ayan, yun.
ayan, Italy yan.
Lahat kayo naka how do you call that? Yung pang, yung stick na walking stick yata? Walking.
May isa, may malakas na hindi nag-stick dyan. Siya pa yung pinakamabilis. Pero ano yun? Ano talaga siya? Nagmamarathon,
Kaya pala sanay na sanay.
Ang lakas nila mo sanay.
Ang galing nila. Well, nakakatuwa to. Kaya naman natin feature mga kaibigan, feature natin kasi to because this is a wonderful traveling experience, no? Imagine mo punta ka ng Mount Blanc, the White Mountain. Siguro White Mountain.
Hindi pupunta there. Umikot sa Mont Blanc. I think that's the name of the trip is Tour de Mont Blanc. So you're hiking around it. Mont Blanc in itself is parang Everest natin sa Europe. So it's quite high. If you want to do Mont Blanc, could probably do it for 2 days, pero it's a different type of hiking, very technical.
So you were hiking sa parang sa skirts lang niya, parang nag-were skirting around it. You're not actually on top of the mountain, ganun ba? Hindi kayo umabot sa highest peak. Ang Mont Blanc pala, you will go around. Siguro mga midway, mid-half or more than half, no? Nasa taas ka.
Para makita mo siya.
Ayun. Pero kung saan mga hinihintuan nyo, meron talagang inn or tulugan or I don't know kung how you call it, no? Hotel, mini hotel. Meron talagang mga matutuluyan?
Mountain
Kumusta
huts.
amenities?
It's all,
amenities?
basic. Mountain huts po ang tawag. And it's all hikers. It's all hikers. Lahat po ay hikers na. Lahat na napuntahan namin. Puro hikers lang. It's pretty remote. Yung mga...
ano yan? So, hot water meron? Paano ang tubig? How do you take a shower?
Yeah, may shower.
Hot water meron? May shower. Okay. May kuryente ba ron? May kuryente? May kuryente ba sa bundok?
Siguro. May kuryente.
Okay. Pero wala silang wifi siyempre. O meron?
May wifi. May isa na may
wifi. Wow!
May wifi. But may areas na medyo hindi ganun ka, yung signal, hindi ganun ka strong yung signal. But everyone is trying to save battery. Kasi labanan sa socket, labanan sa charging. So, I had to save battery for 2 days, 2 to 3 days dahil nagpa-power bank lang ako. So, bring a power bank.
Sabi, pag dumating ka doon sa hut, parang limited yung saksakan, parang magpapalitan o mag-aagawan kayo. Okay. So, yun ang mga medyo things that you have to take into consideration pag ganyan ang ginawa mo. So, that's great. Yes. That's good. Okay. Attorney, may topic ba tayo for tonight? Meron ba tayo?
Yes, may topic.
Meron,
inspired.
Okay. Let's sige.
Inspired by my
ito.
travel.
Wow. O, sige. Ito yung truth or anong topic niya? Paki ano nga, direct tuloy. Attorney, sige, pakibasa mo nga lang. Hindi ko mabasa tong side ko, may nakaharang sa ano eh.
Truth or myth flight compensation claim.
Ayun.
So, what can you claim for, especially around here in Europe? Yun ang ito truth or myth na naman natin. So, quiz na naman tayo. Kuha kayo ng 1/4 piece of paper, I think, after the break.
Yes, we're gonna have a short break at ito pag-uusapan yung truth or myth flight compensation claims. Saglit po lamang, huwag ko kayong aalis. Saglit lang ho. Hintay lang mo.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan. Pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes, dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O, ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
May problema ka ba sa landlord mo? Baka AV ka na ni Kuya. May problema sa mga kapitbahay, sa trabaho. O kaya naman kay Mister o kay Mrs. Away tungkol sa mala, mga may utang, mga aksidente, daing o laban sa ospital or sa NHS. Harassment? O baka naman may stalker ka na gusto mong ireklamo? Punta na sa DV Solicitors para matulungan ka pagdating sa mga litigations at iba pang mga legal concerns. DV Solicitors at 2nd floor, Howard House, St. John Street, Bedford, MK42 0DJ. Tumawag sa 01234-350-244 or 01234-225-188 o kaya naman mag-email sa d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. Visit our website at www.dvsolicitors.com.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy ho tayo sa ating programa. Happy Tuesday ho. Ito po ang Legal Advice Corner. Ako po si SONNY LARAGAN for those who have tuned in for the first time now. No? At syempre kasama natin yung ating Brains and Beauty na pinakamamahal na abogada. Walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA QUINTO. Good evening once again, Attorney.
Good evening, Mr. Laragan. Welcome back. Handito na naman po tayo sa Dagdag Kaalaman Day, Tuesday. At true to the topic natin for the last hour about travel, about Europe. Ang ating truth or myth ngayon is about flight compensation claim. So, kuha na ng paper, kuha na ng ballpen, bawal mag-cheat. And without further ado, mechanics muna. I will say 10 statements at uhulaan niyo po kung totoo, truth, or haka-haka lang, myth ang sasabihin ko. And later on, I will explain bakit siya totoo o hindi. Number 1, according to the regulations, you can claim compensation for delayed or canceled travel in Europe depending on the reason for the delay or cancellation. So, kung ikaw daw ay na-cancelan ka ng flight or you're delayed for a number of hours, may mga criteria yan, hindi ko na anuhin, you can claim for compensation. Is that true or is that a myth? Number two, the only time that you may not be able to claim is if the delay or cancellation is due to extraordinary circumstance outside the airline's control. Hindi ka daw makakapag-claim kung ang rason ng iyong cancellation or delay is due to extraordinary circumstance or beyond the airline's control. Number three, further to the regulations, you may claim for welfare expenses if your flight has been canceled or had been canceled. Example of that, meals, accommodation, or alternative travel. So kung na-cancel daw ang flight mo, pwede ka pa ring mag-claim ng welfare expenses like pagkain, accommodation, at kung nag-change ka ng travel dahil hindi ka binigyan ng alternative travel. Number four, if you suffered an injury during the flight, you can claim against the airline carrier further to Montreal Convention. But there are mamaya na yan. Sinamuti ko na sabihin yung sagot. So, if you suffered an injury during the flight, pwede ka daw mag-claim against the airline carrier. So, minsan, di mo alam kung saan ka ba, nasa gitna ka ba ng Pacific Ocean nung nangyari yung injury. But you can claim daw sa airline carrier further to what we call Montreal Convention. Number five, you can claim against wrongful death under Montreal Convention. So, in the tragic circumstance of may crash na plane, pwede ba daw dyan mag-claim against wrongful death under Montreal Convention. Number six, you can also claim for damaged and delayed baggage further to Montreal Convention. So, pwede din daw pala kung nawala yung suitcase mo, you can claim under the same convention. Number seven, you can also claim for accidents during embarking and disembarking further to Montreal Convention. So hindi lang daw whilst on the plane, whilst also getting off the plane or getting on the plane. Naalala mo mga, I forgot what it's called, those little tunnels. You can claim kung nagkaroon ka ng injury there, you can claim under Montreal Convention. Number eight, you have 2 years to claim for injury under the Montreal Convention. 2 years lang daw under Montreal Convention. Number nine, a little bit about travel. It is advisable or it is best to book a specific travel insurance if you are going on a holiday which involves extra risk. For example, mountaineering and skiing. So pag medyo may delikado yung pupuntahan mo, delikado yung gagawin mo, advisable daw that you specifically or even sometimes recommended or required that you book specifically a particular insurance to cover that risk. And number 10, airlines have a discretion to deny you boarding. Is that true or a myth? Number 1, we will go through it very quickly. So medyo ano lang tayo ngayon. It's still a bit low, but nasa tema ng usapan ngayon, usapang travel, usapang canceled flight, usapang delayed flight, usapang hiking and mountaineering. So if you've just joined us, I'm just stating 10 statements and huhulaan niyo po kung truth or myth ang sasabihin ko. So very quickly, number 1, according to regulations, you can claim compensation for delayed or canceled travel in Europe, depending on the reason for the delay or cancellation and depending on how long the delay was. Number 2, the only time that you may not be able to claim is if the delay or cancellation of the flight is due to an extraordinary circumstance outside the airline's control. Number 3, further to regulations, you may also claim for welfare expenses in the event of a cancellation of a flight. So, pwedeng mag-claim ng meals or accommodation or travel, alternative travel. Number 4, if you suffered an injury during a flight, you can claim against the airline carrier, the airlines, further to the Montreal Convention. Number 5, you can claim against the airlines for wrongful death, if that resulted to wrongful death, if a tragedy resulted to wrongful death, for example, a plane crash, under Montreal Convention. Number 6, you can also claim for damage and delayed baggage, again further to Montreal Convention. Number 7, you can also claim for accidents that happen during embarking and disembarking under the Montreal Convention. Number 8, you have 2 years to claim under Montreal Convention. Number 9, it is best and sometimes even required to book a specific travel insurance if you are going on a holiday and undertaking risky activities like mountaineering or skiing. Number 10, airlines can deny you boarding. Now, exchange paper na. We will check the answers and I will give you additional information. Generic information lang tayo. Or helpful, mga practically helpful na information. Number 1, according to regulations, you can claim compensation for delayed or canceled travel in Europe depending on the reason for the delay or cancellation and depending on the length of the delay. That is true. And tested and proven by myself dahil, for example, EasyJet may mga criteria obviously. So, depende kung umabot ka sa certain hours of delay. And the compensation mo would depend on the length of the flight or length of kung gaano kalayo yung destination mo from your departure, from your point A, kung saan yung nag-umpisa ka ng travel. Now, EasyJet has, from my experience in the old days when I was starting in law, hindi ganun kadali mag-claim, but from what I personally experienced, at least with EasyJet, meron na silang online form to fill out and it's less complicated now. You put your flight number, you put kung kailan yung date, ano nangyari. Normally, they would tell you in advance, obviously, kung ano yung reason ng delay. So, when I had the Santiago Compostela last year, when I did a pilgrimage in Santiago de Compostela, delayed kami ng sobrang tagal. So I claim compensation for that because you can, diba? Dapat ganun naman talaga, ganun ang European regulations, and that it actually affected my next day. So for me, it's there, it's on offer, so we should make a claim for it, and they did. They allowed that compensation. They gave that compensation. The same as well for my canceled flight, yung palabas ko ng UK. Dahil yon talagang naperwisyo tayo doon. 12 hours yung nawala sa atin doon. So they also allowed that compensation. I only completed the compensation form online. But that's EasyJet. Depende siguro yung kung paano yung compensation claim nila. Depende sa airlines by airlines. But normally, they should really give you information when they announce a cancellation or when they announce a delay. Number 2, pero tayo up to sa number 2. You may not be able to claim if the delay or cancellation is due to extraordinary circumstance outside their control. That is true. Dahil, again, from experience, ito yung tinatawag nila act of God or dahil may regulation na kailangan silang i-follow. With my return flight to the UK, na-cancelled yung flight ko, it was due to a medical emergency. And then sabi nila it's outside of their control, and that also pushed them back sa queue nila in terms of arriving sa Geneva, and they were stopped by may curfew ang Genevan airspace. From what I understood, may curfew daw. So outside, the long story short, di daw nila kasalanan, outside of control. So they said, nope, not giving compensation for that. So they can, in certain circumstance, kahit na nabwisit tayo at na nagulo ang schedule natin, kung hindi daw nila kasalanan, they wouldn't pay off a compensation. Number 3, you may still, kahit canceled ka, you may still claim compensation for, well, not compensation, but reimbursement for welfare expenses, pagkain, accommodation, and alternative travel. So they made that very clear. Sometimes, you won't get compensation for the delay or the cancellation, but and that's further to a European-wide regulations. Hindi lang po dahil mabait ang EasyJet or mabait yung another airline. This is because of a certain EU-wide regulations. If you are traveling between Europe, this particular regulations should apply to you. So separately, kung na-cancelled ka, kahit extraordinary circumstance or not their fault, they may still be able to reimburse you for welfare expenses. So if you have to stay somewhere for the night, like what I did, or you have to get alternative travel, like also what I did, I had to get another flight, then you can make a claim. With mine, I had to submit it online. So for me, that's quite, yun ang mas tayo kasi syempre last minute flights are a lot more expensive than flights that you've booked months before. So take note of that. Minsan sasabihin nila wala kang compensation, but pwede ka pa rin magpa-reimburse. Sometimes they would organize the accommodation for you. In my case, no one's organizing anything, so I had to sort it out myself, and I had to get my own flight back. It doesn't always happen that way, so depende sa sitwasyon siguro, depende sa airlines, but just look at that option to get reimbursement. Number 4, if you suffered an injury during the flight, you can claim against the airline carrier further to Montreal Convention. That is true, and this is based on a case. Actually, I tried this many years ago. I did a case, and I cited the Montreal Convention, because ang idea doon is, so may mga signatories lang ng mga parties, but there's most countries with air travel are part of it, and there are limits to it. Compensation capping, may cap lang compensation, but it's a pretty neat way of claiming compensation, kasi nga kapag jurisdiction lang ang pagbabasihan natin, di mo naman alam nasa ka ba nung na-aksidente ka. The classic accidents are spillage, so natapunan ng hot beverage ng flight attendant, that happens, or nadulas. Meron din a case that I read was yung trolley na siguro dahil sa turbulence or dahil nawala ng control yung flight attendant, nasagi niya, nabangga niya na napakalakas yung knee ng isang passenger. So those are the classic accidents, and you don't necessarily know kung nasang jurisdiction ka at that particular time, dahil nasa taas ka, di ba, nasa airlines ka. So we use Montreal Convention, and you can just simply ask for compensation from the plane, from the airline. So, pero limited lang. We won't get into the details of it for today. General principles lang tayo, and just for dagdag kaalaman ng mga tao. So, Montreal Convention ang gagamitin normally. The same din po pag it ended in a tragedy, you can also claim, that's number 5, you can claim against wrongful death under Montreal Convention. That is true as well. Although meron lang cap ng compensation. Number 6, you can also claim for damage and delayed baggage further to Montreal Convention. Yes, that's true, and that's again that is against the airlines. Number 7 is quite interesting. You can also claim for accidents that happened during embarking and disembarking under the Montreal Convention. That is also true. I think may isang case na naside and it was nasa bus, yung transfer bus, when you're being transferred from the uh, aircraft, from the aircraft, at transfer ka dun sa gate, dun ata nangyari yung aksidente. Either biglang nag-break yung driver, I can't remember the facts, but that was the scenario. They were able to claim compensation from Montreal Convention. Number 8, you have 2 years to claim under Montreal Convention. That is true. That is a slight difference. Diba sa atin dito 3 years. Contracts is 6 years, but personal injury is 3 years in the UK jurisdiction. But Montreal Convention is 2 years lang. Number 9, about travel naman, it is best and sometimes required to book a specific insurance if you're going on a holiday and doing something riskier like mountaineering or skiing. That is true. So may mga specific insurance po, travel insurance when you go out there, which will cover medical, evacuation, rescue. The riskier the activity, mas specific yung insurance. What I've heard is sometimes if you're doing, siguro yung sinabi natin, Mont Blanc, yung talagang napakataas, 4,800 meters, you may have to have an insurance for helicopter rescue. Certainly, I think Everest may naghahanap ng insurance for, I don't know if it's required, but that's something na kailangan tingnan. Skiing, other risky activities. So if you're going on an adventure, that's something to really consider. Kasi di natin alam kung ano mangyayari, di natin alam kung baka kailanganin mo ng medical cover if you're going somewhere, or kailanganin mo na ma-evacuate ka or ma-rescue ka. So do get the specific insurance para sa activity na gagawin nyo. And number 10, quite interesting as well, airlines can deny you boarding. Yes, I think siguro nakikita nyo rin yan sa mga check-in na mga warning ninyo. And sometimes it has nothing to do with immigration. So obviously, kailangan nalang i-check if you've got the proper requirements, passport, or entry visa for a certain area. But sometimes it's just intoxicated ka, lasing na lasing, under the influence of drugs, kung disruptive ka, nagugulo ka, they can also deny you boarding. So hindi lang po specifically dahil sa immigration. So yun ang kanilang warning, as you will see sometimes, that if you drink too much sa lounge, natin baka hen party o baka hindi ka mag-ingat dahil pag naging disruptive, pwedeng sabihin ng airlines, no, you can't fly with us. Well, that's it. Ang plot twist ngayon, lahat true. Dahil wala akong maisip na myth. And we wanted it to be a dagdag kaalaman. We wanted to add to your mga trivia na maaaring maging helpful sana in the future.
Yan, okay. Well, ako nakakuha lang ako ng may isa akong mali, no? 9 out of 10. So, ayan. Hula-hula ko rin lang naman yung iba rito, no? Oo. Itong best to book specific travel insurance. Kasi, siyempre, kumukuha ako ng insurance. Minsan may choices yan eh. Are you gonna go on a skiing, ganyan? Yun, mataas yung, mas mataas yung, diba, mas mataas, may insurance na Europe-wide lang, o may insurance including worldwide ba, ganon, no? So, iba-iba ang presyo. Tama yun, kaya medyo yun, alam ko na yun, no? Denial ng boarding, yes, that's happened to a lot of people already, no? Dinideny. Okay. Uy, sino yan? Pati
Oliver Fernandez.
Oliver
okay.
Fernandez, good, oh. Wow, galing ha. Thanks ha, Oliver.
Sige. Galing.
Oo, galing. Oo. Sige nga, attorney, punta nga tayo sa we normally have yung para sa bragging rights. Ngayon, baliktad sa ending natin gagawin. Dapat sa simula. Let's go back to sa ating original na hulaan mo kung sino unang bumati, attorney.
Oo nga pala.
Gawin natin.
Iba
Nakalimutan
naman.
kasi nga,
Parang yung
I was
Oliver
thinking of,
na, iba
I was,
oh.
I was thinking of dwelling on the kasi maganda yung travel mo. It's something kumbaga hindi kumbaga it's unique in a way dahil iikot ka ng Mont Blanc. So nakakatuwa yan, and the view, sabi mo nga yung view is parang parang taga sa buto siguro sa soul na wow, ang ganda ng view na to, di ba? From you can only achieve this view pag naghirap ka, umakyat ka doon sa taas, di ba? And you were mentioning yung Ben Nevis, 1,000 plus yata yun. Ito inaakyat mo, may 2,000, may 4,000 above sea
Hindi
level.
2,500. Umabot tayo sa 2,500.
2,500? Biro mo yan?
2,500.
Ayan.
But yeah,
sige, attorney, tapos, attorney, sige. Sino ang, Go ahead.
Sige, go po. May delay lang.
May delay. Yun ang sabi mo, 2,500, tapos, ano ba yan? You wanted to add something else?
Siguro yung I wanted to go, siguro one day I would want to go higher, pero yun ang sasabihin ko, tagos talaga. Yung sinabi mong tagos yung view na napakaganda. I really felt it na.
Okay.
Ang ganda-ganda dito. Yun yung unang impression ko. Kahit napakahirap, at sabi ko, I was teasing, sabi ko dun sa mga kasama ko, naku, siguro kapag dito ka parate, iisipin mo, ang pangit ng the rest of the world. You might think that the rest of the world is ugly. Kasi, you look at, sobrang puro, sobrang napaka-uncomplicated ng surroundings nila. But, I'm sure there are other, hindi lang doon, hindi lang sa Alps, I'm sure sa Amerika din, sa Himalaya, sa Pilipinas, everywhere. Yun nga yung masaya dito na hanapin yung mga moments na yun na talagang mapapanganga ka na, ay naku, ganda. I had to deserve this view. Hindi lang na dahil punta ka. Pero ito na, had to deserve this guess kasi kailangan natin kasi hindi natin nahulaan kanina. Kaya sino ba?
Okay.
I would choose Marian Galicia Paner. Kasi si Oliver andyan, I would choose Marian para
Marian Galicia Paner. Tingnan natin. Oliver! Wow, Oliver, mabuhay. Tama, 4th of July, walang holiday sa kanila. Oo.
Ay, of course, yeah, happy 4th of July. Yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Yan, meron tayong dagdag kaalam. Basahin ko na. Good evening, London.
Yes.
Para tayong BBC. And the rest of the world. It's the morning of the 4th of July. Celebrations here in the USA. Fun fact, Benjamin Franklin, one of the most famous and well-celebrated founding fathers of this country, who was originally from Northamptonshire, England. Malapit lang yun dito
Really? Oh, Northampton, really, yeah. So English talaga siya, no?
His massive contribution to the cause and creation of the Declaration of Independence is one of the reasons why his image is reflected in the American $100 bill we have today. Northamptonshire is about 20 minutes away from Bedford, so malapit lang kami kay sa ninuno ni Benjamin Franklin.
Di ba si Benjamin Franklin nagpalipad ng kite na nag-discover ng electricity yata, di ba? Tinamaan yung susi na sinabit niya sa kite. Tinamaan. So, electricity. Wow. At saka meron din yata book na ginawa si Benjamin Franklin ng mga sayings yata . Parang hindi ko matandaan. Parang something about, he edited something na parang yung mga sayings, mga wise words, no? But anyway, i-search natin. Okay, so si Oliver Fernandez, yung nanghula kanina at may kasama pang resibo yata nung kanyang groceries ba yun? O departments, saan yun? Gas, petrol niya. Petrol.
Gasolina.
Pay station.
Sitak.
General.
Sitak Airport, Sitak, galing parking. Sinong hinatid mo, Oliver?
Alright. Okay. Galing, ha? Oo nga, sino hinatid, no? 4th of July, hindi pa ako napunta sa Amerika ng 4th of July. Napapunta ako dyan yung di ba uso yung mga sale dito, yung mga Black Friday yata? Black Friday sale yata, ganun yun. Sa Amerika nagsimula yan, tapos ginaya in recent times lang yan. Medyo recently lang yung paggaya ng UK, you know? So, ayan. Well, mabuhay ka, Oliver. Ha? Mabuhay dyan sa Amerika. Ha? Happy 4th of July, no? So, to our kababayans, fellow Pinoys in America. Ayan. O, sino pa pangalawa, attorney? So, Marian Galicia Paner, it turned out to be Oliver. Sino pa?
Marian Galicia Panerole.
Siyempre, Marian Galicia Paner. Sabihin natin. Marian Galicia Paner. Yes. Wow! Okay. Yan.
Ayan.
May mga
excited
baka
na.
yan. Mga baka yan.
Oh, Maya, madaming baka dun sa pinuntahan ko. Hello po, Kuya Sonny, Attorney Dana, Direct Pao, at sa lahat, happy Tuesday po. And magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Stay safe always and stay healthy. God bless us po. God bless you too, Marian.
God bless. Marian, God bless. Yes. Okay, hinulaan ni attorney. So, at least okay na rin. Runner up, no? O, sino? Sino pangatlo, attorney?
Nakita ko si Edgar Duhay nung sa feed ko. So, I would say Super Ed.
Edgar Duhay. Sige, Super Ed. Tingnan natin si Super Ed. Oh, si Ma'am Cora, pati si Snooki. Talagang love na love ni Ma'am Cora si Snooki, you know? Ma'am Cora, mabuhay, ha? Galing ng Rome yata sila Ma'am Cora at saka si Lady Emmeline. Ayan.
Wow.
Yeah, so sumabay yata kasabay ba ni attorney Direct? Almost o hindi? Yung kasabay.
Buti wala po kayong flight cancellation. Pag may flight cancellation, nandito na yung dagdag kaalaman.
Exacto. Yes. So, sige, attorney, si Ma'am Cora.
Yeah. Ma'am Cora, thank you po, Tita Cora, as always. Thank you. And,
yun ang importante, back safe. Yun ang importante, back safe. Rudy Libroho, attorney, sige.
Rudy Libroho, happy Tuesday, maulan na malamig na gabi.
Maulan at malamig, oo.
Hawa siya. Magandang Attorney Donna, Sir Sonny Q, Spooky, Sir Edgar, Direct Lovely Paul, and all happy viewers. God bless us all from Team Libroho. Nasaan nga po ba si Snooki? Yun ang tanong.
Si Snooki, andito kaya lang, magmula nung parang ayaw na niyang pansin-pansinin ko eh. Parang gusto magpahinga. Ay, last weekend, nagtatatakbo sa Sunday ba yun? Sunday yata, Itong Sunday lang nakaraan, takbo sa beach. Grabe, pagod. Pero hindi siya grabe, hindi ko alam kung pagod, pero okay naman. The following day, laro lang ng laro. Ganun, Kala ko may mga body aches siya dahil yung takbo niya talagang full stride, nahabol yung mga birds. So, while yung mami niya, nangongolekta ng cockles at saka Manila clams, which was our lunch yata namin, no? Sarap din. No, pero may supply ka ng omega 6, omega 3 ba? Omega 6, omega 3. Diyan lang. Ang galing. Hindi mo akalain ganun. So, ayan, sige, sino pa mga pagbati ba, Direct? Rudy, mabuhay ha, Rudy. Peter Kelly, ha, mabuhay. Pinoy ito no? Nagtatagalog Peter Kelly.
Evening din, Peter.
Naano namin sa Night Jam, minsan lumalabas. Sa Night Jam ba lumabas yan si Peter Kelly, Direct? Night Jam ba? Dati na sa mga shows natin na dito. Okay. Dito na pala lumalabas na pala si Peter Kelly. Ayan. Okay, sige. Direct. Ganda ng pangalan, Peter Kelly. No?
Ronald Flores.
Ronald Flores. Mabuhay.
Good evening daw. Sir Attorney Donna and Sir Sonny.
Mabuhay Ronald, ha? Mabuhay. Si Char, no? Si Maricar to, di ba? Yung hobby ni Maricar. Direct, no? Taga Bolton. Yan, kaibigan natin. Napakahusay. We met through the program Night Jam, no? So, mabuhay. Si Stan. Best friend mo. Friend mo.
Best friend ko may Lunggo. Mayong gabi sa inyo.
May Lunggo, no?
Good evening,
Mabuhay Stan, ha? How are you, ha?
sa lahat ng
Yeah, ba
group.
surname talaga na Stan Lee talaga? Stan Lee talaga ang surname niya? O
Yeah,
hindi?
iba
Parang ano lang yun?
Oh. Ayun na si
Ayan, Stan
Edgar.
Bubuhay,
Naku, hinanaan pa naman kita, Edgar. Sabi ko, third honor ka.
Oo. Oo nga, oo.
Okay.
So Super Ed, sabi mo nga, di ba? Welcome back ka, no? At yeah, welcome back din, attorney. At least na in one piece nandiyan ka, no? Although it was challenging, yung papunta mo pa lang dahil makakatanggap ka lastminute.com, ibig sabihin may canceled ng flight mo, di ba? 3 hours before your flight, cancel? O 4 hours before na cancel?
4 hours. 4 hours siguro.
Ano reason daw? Ano reason daw? Walang aeroplano?
Wala, parang hindi nabigay ng reason. Hindi masyado, wala akong, mas nagbigay pa nga sila ng reason ng pabalik ako kasi extraordinary circumstance yung reason nila. Siguro na ano lang, I don't know actually. I don't know kung ano yung reason.
Alright, okay. Kasi very close eh. Buti sana ko a day before. Normally kami, we had a flight before that got canceled 3 or 4 times. Pero nagbibigay sila way ahead pa. So nakaka-rebook kami. Hindi yung tipong mamaya na yung flight namin or today. Parang flight pa namin bukas, ganyan. So we will just rebook it. So there was an instance that we rebooked it for 2 or 3 or 4 times. 2 to 3 times yata. Yung gano'n, no? So,
apparently,
at least,
talamak daw ang cancellation ngayon. Because when dun sa hotel ko, sabi, pang-apat na daw yung cancellation sa London that week. I think Geneva also has its own regulation, night curfew. Parang, hindi naman dahil gabi, bawal umano. I think, pag sobrang madaling araw, naglilimit sila ng flights. So that's the reason why ang daming cancellation. Specifically sa Geneva. So, I don't know. It was quite laking adventure sa airport.
I think in summer na to, we will try to drive through mainland Europe, no? And hopefully reach Geneva by car, no? Subukan ko lang yan. Kasi summer only happens once, di ba? Hindi pa pwedeng sige, pag kasi may aso kami. May aso. Ang problema kasi, you cannot travel sa aeroplano at kanina mo iwanan yung aso. Parang nag-iba ang buhay namin because of the dog. Eh. Kawawa naman, iwanan mo. Baka pagbalik mo, hindi ka kain.
Oo nga. So meron din, may passport na si Snooki. So magkakaroon siya ng passport. Pet passport. Yeah, we'll have to go to the vet para maayusin na namin yung mga papers niya, yung kanyang mga, marami pang ayusin sa kanya. So, yeah, para maka-travel, no? Ayan, sino to? Uy! Si Direk! Wow! Ayun, 3 question, Direk Paula. Kaya tinruth ko lahat.
Oo nga, galing. Oo. Anong question, Direk, yung mo? Yung medyo nag-iba? Wow, si Ma'am Cora. 9 out of 10 ako. Galing Ako na 9 out of 10 no? Galing. But this is very educational. This is very informative itong ginawa mo, attorney, no? Because we will travel ano score ni Edgar?
Ano score mo, Ed?
Ano score mo, Edgar?
May ano?
Okay. Wala. Di ba, ano na lang natin. Baka hindi baka ano score ko? Pero
lalo kang gala ng gala. Mag-drive daw. Ay nako, pag ako nagda-drive siguro kung saan ako saan ako delikado ako. Kakaabot ako Scotland every weekend,
Very pagka nag-drive ka sa Europe, kung iba kasi ang kalsada nila ron mag-a-adjust ka dahil dito we drive on the right-hand side drive. In Europe and America and the Philippines, we drive on the other side, left-hand drive. So mag-a-adjust ka. It's okay lang naman, pero ka-rental ka lagi dyan. You will just have to. And ang problema dyan, yung pagkabisado mo sa kalsada. Iba ang driving ng mga traffic whatever ng mga bawat bansa. But that would be fine. That would be great. So far, that's what we did with Italy. So ayan. All right. Well, nag-enjoy kaming manood doon sa mga pinapakita mo attorney, no? Dahil parang nakakainggit na wow, parang ang hirap ng gano'n, 'di ba? Kung hindi ka sanay umakyat, talagang parang 'di ba? Ngayon mo lang nalaman pala na everything has to be taken into consideration, the weight of your yung biyahe mo, yung gagamitin mo, yung bag mo, tapos yung travel mo, yung mga damit mo, 'di ba? Kailangan nandun na sa yun na bang backpack na yun. Yun na lahat yun.
Yun na lahat yun. Yun na lahat yun.
So paano yun? Pag travel mo na eroplano pa uwi, naka-short pants ka pa rin? O meron ka ng pants na?
No,
O paano ka na?
Meron akong ni-reserve na pang-uwi ko. Andun din. So, andun din yung ano. May
doon.
change of clothes. May change of clothes.
Wow.
Kaya, yun. May
Oo.
change of clothes. So, I change pa-uwi. So, hindi lang yun ang damit ko. May damit pa. Actually, puro halos damit. May damit, waterproof, isang jacket pa, kasi lalamigin ka. Evening na clothes, may fleece ka. It adds up. It's all about trying to just survive 4 days as lightly as possible.
Oo nga. Hindi ba pwede may trolley dyan, attorney? Walang i-trolley, may gulong or something na hila-hila mo? Ganun? Hindi. Bigat din. Okay. Wow. Pero at least, no, you were able to survive it, or you were able to, experience it, di ba? Experience mo yan, no? You've never had that kind of an experience, no? Unlike yung sinasabi mo mga Ben Nevis, yung mga scalpel ba yun? Pike ba yun? Sa England? Scaffold, tsaka yung sa Snowdon ba? Snowdon? Ano ba? Mountain? Ano ba? Snowdon? Ano ba spelling nun? Ano pronunciation nun? Pero yung mga yun, you climb it one time and then you rest for the following day. Ito hindi, no? Parang every day at saka kulang ka pa sa tulog, di ba? Parang hindi ka nakakatulog na maayos every night. Oo.
Kulang sa tulog, pagod ka, tapos padagdag yung pagod mo every day. Late si Edgar.
Okay. Hindi niya nakita. But anyway, mabuhay ka, no? Mabuhay kay Edgar, no?
Magugustuhan mo dun, Ed. Naalala ko din si Ed kasi
yes.
mahilig
si Ed
Edgar
yan.
sa
Maakit talaga.
Oo.
Magugustuhan mo. Mga scenic views.
Yung mountains, alam mo minsan overrated. Hindi talaga siya overrated when you're there. At personally for me, kasi mahilig ako sa bundok. Napanganga ako sa ganda. Mas maganda siya sa totoong buhay kesa sa pictures. It was pretty breathtaking. And then you try not to take it for granted kasi pa nga second, third day, minsan yun lang tinitingnan mo yung daan. You really need to stop and tingnan yung paligid mo. Dahil uwi tayo, ang maano lang natin may picture, may memory. So, make the most out of it. Namnamin nyo kung pupunta po kayo doon. Namnamin nyo yung because you can go there for skiing May mga skiing resort doon. But hindi ako nagsiski. So, bundok lang. Bundok.
All year round sila? Pwede mag-skiing doon? Para sa Granada, sa Spain? Ang kagandahan sa Granada sa Spain, actually, it's nice. Siguro marirecommend ako because you went to a snow-capped mountain. Ang maganda kong puntahan sa Spain, sa Granada, kasi you can ski in the morning and you can go to the beach in the afternoon. You can have the best of both worlds. Magtataka ka, Spain na mainit, and yet meron silang snow, no? Nandun sa Granada. Granada tuloy. Sa Sierra Nevada Mountains yata. Sierra Nevada Mountains. So, andun. So, maganda ron. Pwede tayo dun magpunta, no? Okay, well, attorney, baka may mga siguro magano na tayo. How would they shout out or baka may gusto ka pa idagdag na dito sa ating pinag-usapan, or how to get in touch with you in case they would like to to need the help of a lawyer. Sige, attorney, go.
I just want to say thank you to sa mga viewers natin, and Direk and Mr. Laragan as well, na when we share things like this, yung ingat ka, yung mga gano'n, o balik ka in one piece. Nakakataba po ng puso. Masarap umuwi dito sa bahay na to kasi parang parang nakaka-inspire mag-ingat. So, thank you so much for being so supportive sa tawag natin gala sa mga travel, and I hope as well na we share it para maka-inspire din ng ibang tao if you want to do something na yung talagang gusto nyong gawin, kakayanin at kakayanin. If you want to get in touch, not just about travel, but about legal issues as well, you can contact me at danna.quinto@dbsolicitors.com or call me at 012-34225-188. Again, it's danna.quinto@dbsolicitors.com or call me at 012-34225-188. Again, thank you. Salamat po sa lahat ng mga nag-cheer at nagsosuporta. It's very, very much appreciated.
Alam mo, kami rin parang, with bated breath din kami. Ako, babayahin si attorney. Yung parang nafe-feel din namin yung hindi tension ba pero excited tension, pero may tension din na, 'di ba kasi nakakatakot din 'yan, 'di ba? Pupunta ka ng bundok, malay mo something, 'di ba? Pero yung adrenaline, yung excitement when you do something na ganyan, 'di ba? Challenge 'yan eh. Sa physical na body mo. Pero ang regalo naman nun is having this wonderful view na hindi mo makukuha by just reading a book, a page, looking at the picture. It's beautiful, no? Talagang being there. Parang pag nanood ka rin ng football game, pag pinanood mo sa TV, okay, exciting, pero iba yung nandun ka sa soaking in the atmosphere, diba? When you soak, diba? Nandun ka sa atmosphere, iba talaga. So, nainggit kami sa pair of eyes mo, attorney, because you've seen this, no? But of course, believe din kami sa hirap na ginawa mo because it's no joke naman din, di ba? Yung umakyat ka, mag-trek ka doon. Yun, yung mga tao, we don't enjoy it dahil hindi namin kaya ng iba. Pero yung mga, tulad mo, nakakaya mo at talagang yung challenge talagang nilalabanan mo or you welcome the challenge. Pero ang ganda naman ng reward mo, no? Having this wonderful view. Sana ma-experience namin. And you gave us some inspiration din, no, attorney. And we're looking forward kung kailan ang next mo, dahil andyan na naman, kakabahan na naman kayo. O may excite na naman kami, ano kaya gagawin na naman ni attorney kung saan kanyang travel? Magkaroon kaya siya ng problema sa airlines ulit, no? Magkaroon kaya siya ng, all of these things that come into the, di ba, the whole picture. So maraming salamat, attorney. Thanks for sharing that, no? And we truly are really behind you. We're cheering you. Dahil hindi kaya ng ibang tao, most of us or all of us won't be able to do what you're doing. Pero by way of you, parang akay-akay mo kami. Parang, di ba may advertisement yung, bawat picture ng isang babae, lagi may kamay na umahawak yata sa kanya. Tapos, I don't know if you saw that photo, the video. In every part of the world yata, ganun, meron siyang picture na parang kasama. Parang may isang kamay na extend yata. Parang ganun eh. So, ayan. So, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. So, sa ngalan ni Attorney Danna Quinto, no? At sa ngalan ni Direk Pao, at sa inyong lahat na nanonood dito sa programa, maraming salamat sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay, no? Magkita-kita ulit tayo with Attorney Danna next week for another edition of Legal Advice Corner. So, till then, take care, God bless, and good night. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.